The idea of small groups of soldiers living and fighting together is long established. As early as the 17th century, files of men from larger units are recorded as acting under a file leader or junior NCO, who was responsible for their conduct in training or battle. Yet it wasn't until the early 20th century that the squad achieved tactical significance. Arguably, this began when various types of weapons were grouped, making a range of tactics viable. By 1916, the platoons of many nations contained a mixture of rifles, grenades, and light machine guns. By the end of World War I, platoons were considered viable units in their own right, and there were even instances of the use of rifles and light machine guns in mixed squads. According to the 1942 Infantry Field Manual Rifle Company, the U.S. squad comprised 12 men: the sergeant squad leader, a corporal who acted as his assistant and anti-tank rifle grenadier, an automatic rifle team of 3, and 7 riflemen. Of these last, 2 were designated as scouts. The German squad underwent significant changes over time. The wartime squad was very much a machine gun-based unit of 10 men. The squad leader, his deputy, the machine gun team comprising the gunner, his assistant, and an ammunition carrier, and 5 other riflemen. An order for the creation of a new type of division came in October of 1943. With these 1944 type infantry divisions, the squad was reduced to 9, the complement of weapons being 6 rifles, 2 submachine guns, the light machine gun, and a pistol. The Volksgrenadier divisions of late 1944 were effectively ordinary infantry divisions following rebuilding and reorganization. The squads in these divisions were either rifle or submachine gun squads. Armored infantry or Panzergrenadier squads, conforming to the 1944 establishment, were more powerfully armed and even more machine gun oriented. Among the 11 men riding a half-track or a truck, there were supposed to be no fewer than 3 machine guns. One of these remained mounted on the transport in the care of the driver and his assistant. The 2 other machine gun teams moved with the 4 riflemen and the leader, completing the squad. It should be mentioned that at this stage a progressive attempt was being made to replace both the K98 and the MP40 with the STG-44 assault rifle. The final 1945 type infantry divisional organization would aspire to have roughly half of its personnel armed with STG-44s. The British squad, according to the light machine gun manual, was a unit of 8 men. The squad leader with the submachine gun and 2 Bren magazines. His second in command with a rifle, 50 rounds, 2 Bren magazines, and 2 smoke grenades. 2 riflemen, each with 50 rounds and 4 Bren magazines. 1 bomber with 50 rounds, 2 grenades, 2 smoke grenades, and 1 Bren magazine. 1 bomber with 50 rounds, 2 grenades, and 3 Bren magazines. And the Bren gun team with the gunner and his assistant carrying a total of 8 magazines and 100 rounds. Such an arrangement was intended as a guide to be modified for specific tasks. Nevertheless, it shows a squad of only 8 carrying a total of 1,070 cartridges for the machine gun. By 1944, the formal distinction between riflemen and bombers, with its echoes of World War I, had disappeared. Now, squads were listed in the manuals as 10 strong, with a total of 1,850 cartridges for the Bren, plus 10 grenades. The intention was that when opportunity offered, the Bren gun assistant would move around the riflemen, collecting their Bren magazines and handing out the empty ones, which the riflemen would refill from their extra bandoliers. In practice, there was no set limit to the extra weight of ammunition, grenades, and for the platoon mortar, which the infantrymen might have to carry into the line. And by 1944, the squad also carried up to 5 large general service shovels and 2 picks. This increase in personnel and the equipment they carried was particularly marked in the assault divisions chosen to make the initial landings in Normandy, but the burdens remained heavy until the end of the war.